Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. And today I've got a message for Sagittarius. So this is your weekly message, your weekly heads up about the energy that's in front of you this week, and some advice or suggestions on what you can do about this energy, about all this. This is advice that comes through my guides, and so I know it's relevant to you in some way. So take what you feel resonates with you and discard the other stuff. Now, this is a tricky week for you, Sagittarius. This is not a free-flowing card reading that I would usually like to see. The kind of overriding theme is patience, but it's patience for a good cause. So just bear with me here. I have a sense of what they're trying to tell me with this reading, but they said to just start talking. And so I'm just going to start talking and let's see what story comes out. So the energy around you is the devil. You have a lot of situations, people, circumstances that are not what they seem. These are people that are not behaving great. They don't necessarily have your best interest at heart. And some of the way that you're wanting to think about them is kind of getting you stuck. You're feeling trapped. And it's not really something that is the way it is. It's a choice to see it a certain way. So there's kind of this heavier energy kind of starting the week already. And you respond with an equally heavy energy, the Hierophant. Now, the Hierophant can be a grounding, comforting presence, but these two guys together, there's just this heaviness about you. You kind of feel like Sagittarius likes to be on the go. You like to be flying, you like to be moving. And for some reason, this is just kind of holding you down. It's weighing on you. That is the feeling I get from here. And so the Hierophant is you just trying to figure things out. I feel like a lot of this stuff, it's what I like to call old energy or energy from the past. It's energy that you've maybe dealt with already, but for some reason it's holding you down and you're not quite sure what to do with it this time. So let's move on to your advice or your story. We've got the 10 of Cups going into the 7 of Cups going into the 2 of Swords. And I asked for more cards because I was like, oh my God, we start from flow and we end in a deadlock. But part of the problem or part of the thing is that timing. There's these things that are happening with this devil. It's going to take a while to process. And I think what message I'm getting is don't fly off. Don't fly off and try to jump too fast into something because this needs time to sink in. It needs time to process. And I have some good news for you. I did draw a clarifying card and I'll share that with you. But let's kind of talk about what's going on. So this is the card of things feeling okay, of feeling blissful, feeling content and supported in your relationships. It's also a card that can represent home. But I think this is actually just talking about you yourself, Sagittarius, that feeling of being whole and complete within yourself. That is a little bit on the rocks for you this week. We've got the 7 of Swords, which is a card of being pulled kind of off your logic, off your groundedness, because it has you then kind of spending your time in delusions, being like, well, maybe I should do this, or maybe I should do that, or maybe it's a very kind of indecisive, emotional energy. So because this is being called into question because of all of this heaviness here, there's just a little bit of kind of like, well, all of my energy that wants to move has to go somewhere. So it's going to go kind of into this weird watery kind of state. This card for some reason is reminding me of the moon, but that's because I'm supposed to talk to you about the moon. I will remember to do that. Because the moon card is about illusion and things not being quite what they seem. So we end up in the 2 of Swords. So this is your heart and your mind kind of at a gridlock, at a standstill, kind of like, I don't know which way forward. Because my heart, connected to my emotions here, kind of got me into this situation. I can't see my way forward from my head because it just nothing is pushing me a certain way. I'm not feeling strongly about anything. And, I know fire signs, you are often so ruled by your heart, but here your head is kind of stepping in to say, wait a second, stop. This is not the time to be moving. So I asked why, why do they give you this? First, you start the week with wholeness, or you start this story with wholeness. It's being a little challenged by what's going outside in front of you, and then they tell you to wait and stop. So to clarify this card here, I got the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. So this is spiritual vision. There's something that's not quite open yet in the processing of what happened with that really heavy earthy stuff. So when that heavy earthly energy really gets processed and deepened into your system, you're going to see so much forwards, so much spiritual energy moving you forward. And your heart's going to feel kind of quickened and awake again. And you're going to know that it's the right time to move. But right now is not the right time because we're still incubating. Now the moon, I promised to talk about a moon. You see on this card, it's whole. And then you see on this card, I don't know if you can really see, it's in her hair and it's upside down. It's an upside down moon. And then here is the moon on this card and it's turned this way. So we go from complete wholeness to an upside down moon because she's not seeing correctly, and then a completely right side up moon because it's kind of hanging in the balance. It's not sure what to do. So this is about a new cycle of growth because moon cycles are about growth. So I'm trying to give you hope because I understand this is going to be a bit of a heavy week for you. But just keep in mind that growth sometimes happens behind the scene. It happens in the quiet moments. It happens in those corners of the day when we don't have things planned or when we're sleeping. You don't have to be active to be seeing the growth. So the best message I can give to you right now is just to stay present with these feelings, stay present with the information that comes to you about other people. It's really not a week to get emotional about it. It's not a week to overprocess it. Just understand and trust that the work is being done for you, within you, as long as you stay present to what's really going on. So thanks again for joining me. I'm hoping next week is going to be lighter for you, but this is an important week because, you know, not all growth is beautiful and fun and heavy. I mean, beautiful and fun and light. So I hope to see you next week. Let's check in and see how things are going for next week. So please like and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and feel free to always check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com, for new offerings and updates. And I am so looking forward to seeing you next week. Really interested to see how this happens. So we'll see you next time.